are put together, put in a drink, and you are not in control of yourself afterwards. Because if you were in control, you would have said no. But because of the elements that are placed in that drug, you can't say anything. And then finally, you find yourself a few weeks after pregnant. And let me say this now. Don't think that because the brother is a church brother, it won't happen. Some of the worst devils are in church. So if you don't know Jesus for yourself, if you're going on a date and you are not sure what is happening, take somebody along with you. Did you hear what I said? If you're going and you're not sure about the person, take somebody else along with you. And also, lastly, I'm saying, have your vex money. Have your vex money.
I was coming to that, but go on with the vex money.
Pull out your purse or your bib or your, you know. Have your vex money that you take your taxi and you leave John Brown or Mary Jane and keep your dignity. Amen?
Thank you. Even if you're not drinking alcohol, orange juice, I've known of orange juice being, what do you call it word? Laced. There's another word, spike. Right. Water has been spiked as well. So be very careful. So don't think that because you're not drinking alcohol, nobody won't spike your drink. All right? Sorry. All right. Don't allow your date to park in some lonely place and to take you for a walk or desolate place or to some place where they are come to see my place. We have had situations where, you know, the guy will say, you know, I'm going to stop by my house to pick up something. And the person say, come in, man. Come see where me live and come. I won't be long. If you won't be long, stay in the car and wait. Or take out the vex money because you're ready to go. And you go up, and guess what? That was the plan all along. Guys, open your eyes and see. It is not always what it is. So you might meet the nice guy, him drive the nice car, him dress the nice way, him good manners and everything, but he might not be the one for you. Right? So, don't believe these commands. Yeah. If you love me, you will let me know. You will let me. You're so beautiful, I can't take my eyes off you. Just keep looking. I'm beautiful. Just keep looking. Everybody's doing it. I want to show you how much I love you. You know what the problem? We don't feel good about ourselves. If I know I look good, you don't have to hold it against me. No, I look good. Mm-hmm. What's the matter with you? Are you so frigid? What do you think some of the combats are? Let me see what you're saying. Tell me what would be your comeback. If you love me, you let me. Tell me what your comeback would be. Hello, Prince, I'm not hear what you're saying. Just tell me. All right, anybody else? Okay. You're so beautiful, I can't take my eyes off you. What's a comeback you'd use? Eh? Well, I'm hearing over here, so. Lucky eye. carefully made. Everybody is doing it. No, I'm not everybody. I want to show you how much I love you. Eh? Just show it. What's the matter with you? Are you so cold? What will be a comeback? Yes? Some said yes. Eh? All right. So here are some that I have. If you love me, you won't ask me. If you love someone, you don't need to pressure them into anything. Thank you for the compliment. I can't take my eyes off the refrigerator. Let's get something to eat. That should put a spoke in that wheel. If everybody's doing it, then it should be easy to find someone else. Because not everybody is doing it, eh? Instead of showing me how much you love me, why not put it in words? Wicked, right? I'm a little cold. I'll get a sweater. If you don't have good vibes about a person, don't date. You have that gut feeling that something not right, something not right at all, sister. Yes, Sister Buckley, something not right at all. But it better you follow your gut feeling and then you said, okay, I was wrong. But versus you don't follow your gut feeling. What are the red flags to a potentially abusive relationship? Now you're trying to find someone, but guess what? You cannot go in blindly. Interesting though, when I speak with some couples and I ask, what's your reason for getting married? Some person said, oh, I love him. Oh, so. And then you hear something happen in the relationship and I ask, did you see that before? Person say, yes, but I thought I just brush it aside. Ladies, if your date slap you once, don't let it happen a second time. If your date pushes you, don't let it happen a second time. Yes? Okay. What are some red flags you need to look out for? We're talking about finding the right person, but guess what? We need to go beyond what we can see. Obsessive jealousy. So when we're talking about obsessive jealousy now, it is the person is just talking to you and they don't want anybody else to be a part. They don't want anybody else to even call you. Eh? That if your mother they're so jealous, no other male or female can call, and they're checking your phone. You can't just go with someone for the first time and they're checking your phone. Controlling behavior. They want to control what you say, what you do, how you act. Now, if I am just meeting you and you want to control my behavior, something is definitely wrong. Can you imagine when you get married? I can't speak. I can't do anything. Unrealistic expectations. The person is expecting a lot more of what I can give. Yes? Let's say the person is expecting that I should not work as a female. And how dare you? I will support you because I don't want you to go out there and any man see you and like you off. And there are some persons even start with isolation. What do I mean by that? They don't want you to call any other person apart from that person. So you can't call mother, father, sister, brother, friend, nobody. They isolate you and you have to lock yourself away. So when you go into the marriage now, you are all by your little lonesome self. Now listen, the moment the person says you can't speak to your family members, you need to run. Even if it's the engagement, run. No, Elder Oti, you can't tell me. Even when you reach up here, so, And the pastor even if the pastor say, I do, once you don't sign the registry, you can't come out of it. That's how it go? Because when you sign the registry now, this is the legal, but hold on, but if you sign it and you don't reach here, you're still not married yet. It has to be consummated. Then the question is asking now, how do you know when it is consummated? Eh? You know, that is my like a question I'm asking myself. How do you know when the couple has consummated? Anyhow, if you reach up here and everybody is seated and waiting and you're in a pretty frock and everything and your nice suit and you feel like something or one of these things, red flags coming up, just say goodbye. Go and whatever. Listen, guys. It is not too late. The better you have the embarrassment now than you have the embarrassment a couple of years down the line when you start to have black eye and blue eye and all sort of eyes. Right. When he starts blaming you and others for problem or she, it's your fault why we are poor. It's your fault why we can't go on a proper date. When you start seeing that, it's your fault why I don't have any money because I have to take you on these dates you call. Hypersensitivity, sensitive about just about everything. Right? Another red flag is show disrespect and cruelty to people. If the person you think you want to date is not showing respect to others, they're going to show you disrespect too. It's just a matter of time. Yes? And are they being cruel to other people? Do you hear them speaking some things about others? They might have rigid rules about gender. Some persons say, you know, all women you can't trust them because they always cheat. Or men are all of these things. When you hear these things, don't even go any further. The sudden mood change from happy to sad, or they go from very happy to anger state and so forth. They pushes for more intense involvement. They want to be more intimate. They want to do all of these things, and they want it like, no, no, no. So when you're realizing that your dating is going too quickly, then you need to do something about it. If someone loves you and is interested in you, they take it in stages. Yes? Show destructive tendencies. The person gets angry and starts throwing the furniture all over the place, or they start doing this thing and they slam the car. You know that's something you need to look out for, because what happens when something happens in the home? Yes? Use force. The moment you realize the person is using force, whether it's a male or female, and you ask me about rape, guys, yes, female can force you. Because if you want to remain a virgin and somebody forces you to lose that, that is devastating. One of the things I want us to be reminded of, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Many a times we don't love ourselves. We feel that others should make us feel good. What about you? If I should ask, do you know what is your favorite meal? Do you know what is your favorite color? Some people, I don't know. Do you know how you like your eggs to be cooked? Do you like sunny side up boiled egg? Some people say, whatever him say, I'll do what she say. What do you like? What is it that about you? Are you confident in yourself? Can you do something without being pushed to do it? Do you know yourself well enough? A lot of times we don't know ourselves, and so we depend on others to make us feel good. And if I always have to make you feel good, I'm going to run out of feeling good things. Yes? So when we're talking about dating someone, finding the right person, we're saying to you, look out for these signs. Another thing that we need to be mindful of, if you're looking out for someone, make sure that you are the person someone is looking out for. Are you the right person? Are you someone who's very compassionate? Are you someone who's lovable? Are you somebody who shows respect? You have to be that person as well. And this is where I have questions, comments, and suggestions. Elder Press, go ahead. I'm sorry, the mic, yes.
As for me, you have given me a whole, that's not a mouthful, but a church full. But you started somewhere up in the education area, and that's where my first question was placed.
Yes.
I have about 8 questions here, but I can't go more than one, I was told. But when I married my wife,
Yes.
lovely lady, and we were going on so well, just before I bought a car or I started a one-room. But she happens to get education, of which I helped her because I stayed with the children while she was being educated. And
Hold on, you're still married?
yes, ma'am?
Are you still married?
Yes, I am still married.
Okay. Are you just giving an example?
Yes, I'm giving an example here.
We just wanted to clarify that, you know.
But here, no, I just want to say that she gets an education and she
Right.
starts earning more than I am now.
Right.
She makes an house, and after that, I myself am not too comfortable. And she started showing some signs of how do I, after 30 years of marriage, deal with that? Just a question.
About the educational aspect of it.
Yes.
That's a very tricky one. Because one of the thing is, that's a difficult one. One of the thing is, in any relationship, there ought to be a discussion as what next to happen. Perhaps that discussion was never held, right? I'm trying to say as best as possible to answer the question, because in order to grow together in happiness, you both have to have the discussion, right? And if she feels that, boy, she doesn't want you anymore, then it seems as if the marriage was not built on, the marriage was built on something else. Yes? And so perhaps, I'm not saying that it can or should, it might be causing separation in the relationship. Because if you guys can't say eye to eye, it's going to cause a problem in the relationship. So you're going to have to decide now, what are we going to do? It's kind of hard to answer it, but I hear you. I don't know if anybody else, yes?
Doc, I've seen situations like those, and many times the gentleman feels intimidated. The woman has acquired all of these, accolades, and he feels, sometimes it's just a perception. He feels that, well, she's going to feel high and mighty now, and she's earning all of this money and so forth, and I don't have a degree or a diploma, and she going to treat me like yard boy now, and that kind of thing, you know. So I feel that, as you say, they should have a discussion, because the gentleman has to know that he will be comfortable with her having the limelight and having the bigger salary and so forth and so on, you know, because that thing causes too much problems in the relationship. If she feels that she has moved on, you can converse with her at
She has
her
to
level.
move on. She has to move on.
And it's best that you go.
And the thing is, guys, while we are not saying that divorce is a thing, but if this is where it has to go, it has to go. Is there a question you have?
Yes, my question is have to do with the dating somebody with
Yes, yes.
Yeah, my question is dating somebody with children. And she comes in the relationship with children, but will not accept the other person's the outside children. Right? She comes in, she have children, but somehow I don't see where she, like the other parties, children.
Children, yes.
Is that a red flag?
That is definitely a red flag. And guys, bear in mind, that when we're talking about having a discussion, so you have to have a sit down. Do you want kids? My kids, your kids. If you're seeing that, boy, you notice that your kids being treated better than this kid, it is, you have to decide, listen, do I want to stay in this relationship at the expense of my kids or your kids? Because that's where it's going to boil down to. And listen, when I started university, that was a collaborative effort with the family. Unless I told you that I have a PhD, I don't flaunt it with my husband. I've never done. All right, let him ask. Have I ever done it to you, dear? Let me look round. Have I ever done it to you? Did he answer? All right. Because that's not something that I am going to flaunt over. It's just that it is a collaborative thing. I am the one who, because of my job and so forth, if he wants to do it, he can. We did suggest it to him. If he wants to go back to school, he said, no, dear, we can't. To go back to school now, whatever. But that has to be a discussion with the family. When I said the family, it was him and the kids. Because it means that time would have to be taken now for studying and so. So he would do the cooking and the kids would do the laundry and so forth. And we work together. Yeah?
Could I just add? It's a collaborative effort. It's something that you have to sit and discuss and come to an agreement. You have to have clear perception, Elder Ati. I recognize the fact that my wife has a PhD. I recognize that fact. But here's what I do know to become on a level. I make sure that the books that she studied, read them to her and try to make sense out of what is being said there. Because you will find that there will be occasions where you have to step up to the plate. And in order to balance out the love for your wife and to show that you are not choir sheep, you read. My wife will tell you, I love reading. I read wide. And sometimes she said, Lord, every little bit of paper you see, you just write something on it. Why? Because there are thoughts that run and you have to write it down. All I'm saying is, brethren, is that if you allow your self-confidence to be destroyed, you are destroyed for life. You are a child of God. And if you have ambition enough to step up to the plate, step up to the plate in Jesus' name.
Yeah, and it's interesting, I'm coming to you. It's interesting though, when you talk about the children, I have seen where there's court issues, children are being neglected. And remember guys, if you neglect your children, that's a legal issue that you're dealing with right there. So don't do it for the sake of somebody you think you want to get involved with. If the person does not accept you with the kids, then that person will not accept you later on down with the kids. You can't push them one side. They're not puppies. Yeah? All right. The questions across there, and then I come. Is it you first? Okay.
All right. So one of the things I experienced in university, oh, and just a note that I remember I sat down with Pastor one day, and I said, so suppose we make more money than you, you go vex? Him said, but no more money that for me. So sometimes you need to find a man with confidence, so that if you have great achievements than them, they see it as an addition to their household and to them. Because I remember him saying, but me not gonna say me have doctor wife, rather than to say, oh, you know, my wife in big position and I'm not. But one of the things I realized in college, which luckily I didn't have to experience, because Pastor and I were courting at the time, but I had some guy friends, and they were saying, they're not spending on a woman, because when they spend on the woman, they take advantage, and they spend out their money, and they carry them on nice dates, and then they dump them and move on. And I remember even one of my friends here, she's a teacher, she was saying the same thing the young boys say now in high school, that they treat the girls right, and then it no work out, so them not spending on a girl again. So what advice do you have for the men that they feel like they have to hold back? Because if you being stingy with me, I'm not going to stay with you. So what do you say to them? How do they strive the balance?
So dating is all about going on those nice things. So if you're going to use somebody as fat and fry the next one, you might end up losing out. Yes? Because the thing is, you know, we're not saying to you that, what am I saying now? It's just that be reasonable. Yes? So if you know that you don't have enough money, just use what you can, do what you can, but don't do it to the detriment of somebody else that you might be really interested in. Because honestly, if you always carried me to Burger King or KFC, I'm wondering if something happened. What about the ladies taking up the tab? Is that a problem? No problem, not sure. We can take on the tab too. Why can't I take him out, right, hubby? Why can't I take him out? And going back to what you said about the finance, remember guys, the principle, God's principle is that it's the family income. So once you start saying it's the family income that is going to have this, then it does become you or me money. It's the family income that is going to be benefited from the increase or whatever the job is. Next person.
All right, just a few comments. The first one as it relates to the female upgrading herself education-wise, you have to know your partner.
Yes.
So I know
Definitely.
my husband not going to go to school. So I have to position myself to upgrade myself to make sure the family is financially stable.
Okay.
Oftentimes as females, we think and we portray it even in the church. I am a step above my husband, so I treat him a particular way. We ought to be careful because we're teaching our children how to treat the father at home.
That's right.
As it relates to the stepchildren, sometimes, and I'm going to say we, because I had to ask God to help me to go through that process. We neglect the stepchildren because of the mother or father they have, the mother or father's approach. But I'm telling you, if you marry a man and he has a child outside, the picnic belongs to you. You see my stepson over there? He knows he's mine. So I'm in his class group. He doesn't live with me. I know everything that is happening. And he knows I don't play. It is no longer a stepchild. It is your son or your daughter. Don't pay attention to what the mother or father is saying. That is not your business. Your business is the child.
Right.
And we need to accept that. My question to you though, at what age is it okay for me to start dating?
Okay, at what age? All right.
Not me, Daddy Ati. At what age is it okay for young people to start dating?
That has always been a question that I'm weary to answer. Remember that dating is getting to know people. So let's say you are 15, 16, you want to date in groups. Because you're not ready now for intimacy, for intimate relationship, close relationship. You're getting to know people, right? And so I would say, and this is just according to me now, if you're under 18, you know, go in your group, get supervision. You know, it's strange enough, you know, this is me saying, so please do not say that this is the law. 18, you're an adult. It's just because persons who are under 18, most times they have to be supervised because they're not so, you know, some are very immature and they're not sure what's happening, and you want to avoid certain things. Now, when your children start to build up the resistance and they don't want adults around, you know, that's a red flag. You need to check it out. When they want always to be with, that's a red flag because sometimes they might not be able to control the emotions flying all around. Maybe not them, not your child, but maybe the other person's child. And you want to just be cautious. That's just, you know. I remember one young man wanted to take out my daughter. She was in college then, university. And he came to me and I said, I am coming along. Get me a ticket. Me sit in the next table. He ain't gonna get the ticket, because me coming. Because first of all, I asked him, how are you gonna take her home? On a taxi in the late night. I said, no way. I am driving you all, and I'm waiting. I was just thinking about her safety. I was just thinking about her safety. I was just thinking about her safety. I mean, taxi hard to get at 11 o'clock. To hear that my daughter out at 11 o'clock? No. And I can't go sleep. And listen, if my children say to me, Mommy, Daddy, I am going to go with my friends to KFC this evening, then better go to KFC this evening, you know. Because if me pass KFC and they're not at KFC, what them say? When they say, dog, near me supper? I say, go. I will not say my kids want to do things that, you know, but they know the limit. Yes? So I said, don't make me drive and, you know, you got to tear out a movie. Make sure so when me pass movie place, you there, you know, or else. Yeah, but I'm just saying, some things are not written in stone. Some things we have to use our eyes, our ears, our intelligence to say something not right. If you see something that doesn't feel good, investigate a little bit more. Yes? The question, yes.
For the young people, I want to ask a question on their behalf, right?
Sure.
So, should I date someone who is not an Adventist? Is it okay? Is dating and not thinking of anything serious? Should I date someone who is not an Adventist? That's the first question. Right? The second question, should I flirt? Is something wrong in flirting? And define flirting. What is flirting anyways? Should I flirt as a Seventh-day Adventist young person? And should I date should I try and build connections with non-Adventists?
Okay, all right. If you're dating someone with the intention that you want to get further with the person. Now, what you want to do is to start something that should not go anywhere. So why waste the time? With me? Because what you're doing is setting up yourself to get emotionally involved with this person when you might end up not able to come out of this relationship because it's gone too far. My suggestion is, don't date someone you plan to marry who is not of your faith, whatever the faith is, because it's going to create problems down the line. Yes? You're always going to have to compromise with a lot of things. Could be your food, apart from the religion, it could be the food, the way you live, all of these things would have to be compromised. Sorry? I didn't hear you. The day you worship is going to be compromised. And don't get someone into church to plan to marry the person because you're getting them into church. If they're not coming to church because they love God, they're going to walk out because they have not set the foundation. Yes, Elder Oti. Oh, sorry, Sister. Oh, you're good.
Mr. Reeves have the question.
I just want to put some clarity to something that I think has been misunderstood for a long time. When we use the word dating, there are some young persons who think dating means having sex.
No.
I'm telling you what I know. That's what they think it means. But I've been listening to you saying it over and over again, is getting to know. And I say what I said earlier because a lot of Adventist young women, and I'm saying the women because the signs are more easily shown on them by way of the pregnancy. Many has gone into the unequal yokeness of dating where they are talking to young men outside of the church, deliberately so because they say those in the church are boring. They have said that. I've heard it with my own ears. And so when they quote unquote date, there's a cost to that kind of dating. So I'm saying to my young people, the getting to know process of the beginning of what is intended to be a relationship is very, very, very important. It is where you're going to be taking notice of the big red flags that have to use 10 smart of a wave. It's important how the person speaks to you, the kind of communication that you have, the things that you talk about, because I am married to Marcia for 35 years, going 36. I have always been impressed by her thought process. I like a woman who has a beautiful mind. If I'm not thinking about it, you can say to me. And I like to have a discussion that is robust, something where we have similarities. I am saying to the young people, look for similarities. Look for things that make you compatible. Those are the things that will make you start to build a foundation for future relationships. Not because you go to the same church, your mother used to be at the same church as your father, and you used to be in the same Sabbath school teenage class. That's not a good reason to get married. It has been shown that that can bring disaster that you can't manage. But get to know the next person the best way that you can and the most decent way that you should.
All right, and a spin-off. Okay, and a spin-off of that one to Ella Oti. I hear the comments that person saying, I'm not buying pussy in a bag. Listen, as professionals, when we do premarital counseling, we ask persons to do medical to confirm that you are whatever it is, all right? Right, so you don't have to buy the pussy in the bag. I remember, when God says that two shall become one, you see, when you intertwine bodily fluid and emotion and everything, it will be a mix-up. All right, and I'm not sure whose hand was up first. Was it yours? There, okay, there and there, okay.
All right, good afternoon. I'm trying to answer a question that was asked. What is flirting and should we flirt?
Oh, sorry, I didn't, yes.
All right, personally, I feel that flirting is leading on, giving somebody false hope. And when it comes on to emotion, because we're emotional beings and we have a lot of hormones, and there are times when the hormone concentration gets so high that we cannot control the way or we react. So if you see somebody, most of the times as females, you're not going to flirt with somebody that you don't like something about them, right? You flirt with somebody because you like something about them. And when you're telling yourself that, I'm just flirting and it's safe, right? Nothing is going to happen. What happens when you're giving the person this energy and this person is doubling up the energy that you're giving them, and you now find yourself in a space or in a box that you cannot come out of, and you realize that you tend to yield. There is this law that I always like to use, Newton's third law: for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. And these emotions, they are running through your vein, right? And then you might be in a space, an open space, and the person touch you. That feeling, that euphoria that you get excited and you're interested, you want to go more. So flirting, to me, I think it's wrong.
Okay. Listen, and it's not just single people who flirt. You know, because, we have married people who will flirt, and you touch me a certain... There are parts of our bodies that are stimulated by different touches, right? So when you have too much of the touches, right, go ahead. Okay, the mic over here. Somebody's over here speaking. All right, let me get her while you get your mic. Yes?
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to pick up on what Brother Owen said. All right, so for example, I'm in the church, I'm Adventist, right? I'm of the impression that we should only date Adventist people. If I'm in the church about 5 years and I'm not seeing anybody in the Adventist realm to date, and there is somebody from a different faith wants to date me, are you saying that I should not date that person?
But it's not me says so, my dear, it's the Bible says so. Be ye not unequally yoked. But the thing about it is that, it doesn't matter if it is another Christian faith. It's going to it's going to have conflict on your religious beliefs. And let me tell you, it might seem okay here, but when you start having the family know, this is where the problem is going to come in, Who's going to decide which church it is? The children end up, as you're talking about the blended family, the children end up being in this tussle. There are some families, the children go Saturday and Sunday.
Could I just add this, please? My sister just said a while ago that if you don't see somebody in the church, might be not in your church, your immediate church. I am from South Manchester. Hello? Where did I say I was from? South Manchester. My wife is from St. Catherine. So if you don't find somebody in Maypen, visit Linstead now. Visit another of your church. Because, listen, the God that I know has somebody somewhere for you. But listen, God is not going to carry you to the person. You got to look to. That's what he gives you eyes for. And listen, brethren, never you get the idea that you can date somebody from outside and that it will work. It will not work. Too many homes have been destroyed because of this situation. Children now have to decide, do I go to church with daddy on Sunday or do I follow mommy to church on Saturday? Very confusing. The Lord says, and here's something that I can understand. If the Bible puts it there, It is there for a reason. And the person who puts it there is the best person to put it there. And if he says that it's there, learn to accept what is there. Because anytime you change what the Bible says, it has always reaped disaster. Stick with God's plan. And when you stick with God's plan, if you are genuine and sincere, God will work it out for you.
While the mic is going across there, a friend of mine, he lost his wife and he had children. He had young children, and because he needed a wife to take care of his kids, he went and he married to someone of another faith to take care of the kids. No, a Seventh-day Adventist, another one. The kids, I can't recall any of them. They were kind of in and out. They're not really in the Adventist church, they're in the Sunday church. But because of the faith of his wife when she died, he had to do some of the things that would be outside of what is expected of an Adventist because his wife is of another faith. So he had to do those rites and practices just because of her. So I'm just saying to you, you're putting up yourself then you say, why buy the car when you can get the milk free? My research was on that one. I did my dissertation. And people have been living in relationship for 20, 40 years because they're hoping one day that marriage will happen, and it never happened. No matter if we all right, we got quarreling, so we don't need to do anything else. But there's some legal implications. Alright, so draft up your contract as business partners. Don't go in as intimate partners. So this is what I mean. And I'm sure whose hand was.
Just a quick one. Like masturbation, how it affects somebody looking to enter into a relationship. The effects that it has. So I was listening to something the other day, and Dr. Neil Lennon was saying that masturbation, if you do it consistently, like if you do it every day, what about if you're being abusive with it, right? Or you do it consistently, frequently, that's the word I was looking for. What masturbation can do when you eventually get into a relationship, it lessens or it takes away sexual desire for your partner, right? Yes, so a quick question for young people, since I'm trying to ask young people questions, right? Should they be masturbating, and what's the implication when they eventually carry masturbation into the marriage, and why in your opinion, you think they should stop masturbating?
Well, you've answered most of the questions already, and if it comes after my